Hi, everybody. Let me turn the TV. Okay. Today, I'm coming at you on my phone. That's why it looks different. I'm in the living room. You might have some cats show up. Okay, and it's different on my phone. I can't share my screen with you. So today we're talking about asking for help, and I think the logo was what? What is asking for help? Oh man, I am so sorry. I'm out of my comfort zone. My computer is needing assistance, and I'm I since I didn't charge it, I am on my phone. So I'm a little bit out of it. All right. And then there's the comments. I can bring guests up, but I cannot share my screen. So what I'm going to do is read a story to you today. Let's see if I do this. Will it shut me off? Okay. Here's the ask for help. What? Okay. Here we go. Oh, okay. So, what I want to talk about is what do I mean when I'm saying ask for help? There are many, many. Hey, Joe. Is that just Joe? Did you change your name, Joe? Oh, you did. Joe's Beauty Room. How cool is that? So, what I wanted to talk about was did I say what? I am so out of my element, Joe. I'm on my phone in my living room instead of on my computer. It's still not right. I got to fix the keys. But, so yeah, I'm kind of out of it a little bit. So let me do this real quick again. What was it that oh, here it is. Here it is. Oh, come on. What? Okay. So what I wanted to talk about is what does asking for help look like? What ways you can ask for help? And I can only be here for about 30 minutes, but I needed a distraction. No worries. I'm glad to see you, and I hope today goes good. I hope today is a good day for you. I know it's going to be difficult, but like I said, you're in our prayers and we're here to support you. So anything you need, you just let us know. So, what is asking for help? What does it look like? All different kinds of questions about it because asking for help is different for everybody. And it's difficult for many people, especially people who have never asked for help, which I think is a lot of our the age group, the 50s, 60s, even 70s, not asking for help was how we were raised. So, what I have for today is I have a story I'm going to read, and I don't know how that's going to, if you're still going to be able to see me while I read it. Hey, Nay, how are you doing? We're back on regular schedule. We're back. We're off our summer break. So we're back. And oh, here comes one of my kitties. Come here, Mr. Big. Come on. Let's show everybody. Let's show everybody your. He never comes up on in the bedroom, but look how big he is. Oh, he's the big one. He's my snuggly. Look, I can hug him like a baby. He's a baby. Show everybody how pretty you are. I say hi. I'm so pretty. Oh, and now he's going to mess with stuff. So, oh, still healing from my surgery I had last week. Oh, okay. Many distractions in the living room. Still healing from my surgery last week. Well, how are you doing? Mentally, physically? I know you're still healing. I hope things are going good. And hopefully you'll have a lot of good healing. I don't know what else to say, but I'm glad you're here, Nay. I'm glad you're here, and I'm glad you're healing. I'm lost in the living room on the phone. I thought this would be a good idea, but I was very much wrong. Very much wrong. Okay, so I have a story, and it's about a man whose son had mental health illness, And when I put, I am taking it day to day. That's all we can do right now is take it from day to day. Yeah. Yeah. If you're having any mental health issues, don't forget you can always go in the big chat and ask for help or talk to people or just say, hey everybody, how you doing? Whatever. And I checked, you are in that chat, pretty sure. So so we're talking about asking for help. And that was the thing that that really, like, it is so hard for some people. Hi Wavy, how are you doing? We're back to regular programming for the winter, the fall, winter, and spring. And then I'll probably take summer break again next year because I was busy, crazy busy. So yeah, I feel better, Nay. So we're back to regular programming Wednesdays. If I don't do a Wednesday, like if I have an appointment or I'm just feeling I don't want to do it, still dealing with allergies. Oh no. I think I am too. I took my nose spray, but I didn't take my allergy medicine. So we'll see how I'm doing. I've got air cleaners going in the house, 3 of them full time. So, and, oh, you can see him right over there. Do you see him over there? He's right there. He's so silly. But yeah, me too. Still dealing with allergies. It's still in the 60s in Michigan in the end or middle of October. It's crazy. Crazy. Or the beginning of October. We'll be in the middle next week. But so my idea was that we're going to talk about how to ask for help, who to ask for help, when to ask for help, where you can go for help. Oh, it's chilly there. Yeah, it's a little chilly here too, but I don't think it's killing any of the allergens because when I go outside, I start coughing again. So I don't think any of the allergens are being, you know, and it's real windy, so that just puts all the pollen all over the place. So so asking for help because I just recently I couldn't understand why someone with such serious issues had never asked for help. I couldn't understand it. You know you need help. You keep saying you don't need help, but then you have incidences, crazy, you just act crazy, things aren't right, and then you still think you don't need help. And you're just causing your family to not want to be around you. So, and I'm like, why is it so hard? Because actually, when I was younger, I didn't ask for help until I had my nervous breakdown in like, what year was that? I don't remember. But it was definitely in the, I want to say 2000s, 2010. I'm not sure. But I didn't ask until I had the breakdown. And I said, I have to do something now. I have to, because if I don't, I'm not going to be able to function as a human being. So, and everyone has a different story, I think, and a different perspective on asking for help. If you have or haven't, why you have or haven't. And so I think it's important that we talk about this so that anyone who is considering getting help can see what we're talking about, our experiences, stories from the internet, stories from us, whatever is going on in anyone's life, and they can see that they really can ask for help, how they can, when they can, all those things. I put in my description who, what, when, where, why. And today is the what. What does asking for help look like? What does it feel like? Why is it so hard for people? And it's definitely a prideful thing. But it's something that we need to do. We need to talk about it. There's a commercial that says just ask. It's telling people to just ask. But how do we help people that are in need of help? How do we can't just ask because we may not feel like we're close enough to this person to ask questions like that, personal questions, and things like that. I had a mental breakdown when I woke up from surgery and they had to call my doctor. I've been dealing with so much before surgery. Yeah, nay, and then something as major as surgery just can, in combination with all the life events. I'm going to take my sweater off because I was cool earlier, but now I think with talking, I'm getting warm. All right. Oh, here's Mr. Kitty. Let's show you. This is Barry Sanders. He's getting big. Look at how big he's getting. No, no, no. I want people to see your face. He's like, I don't want to be on the video. he's a he's gonna look he's my Halloween cat. He looks like that little sticker you see where the tail is going up and then he's a little skinny. But yes, and that's just compiling on, and it's very difficult. It is because surgery, any type of surgery procedure, whatever you're going under, it can be difficult mentally and physically. Um, I used to I used to feel a huge lump in my throat when I tried to ask. Now, with therapy, I can ask for help much easier. Yes, once you take the first step, it becomes easier. It does. But that's the thing that people need to know. It may be difficult right now, but once you take that step, you're going to feel so much better. And you're going to be like, why didn't I do this sooner? But you don't know that until it happens, right? Thank you, Wavy. He is cute, but he he's a he was feral. We caught him and brought him in. I don't know if I already told you the story, but we were gonna send him for to be adopted. And then my husband said, no, we're gonna keep Barry Sanders. I don't know if it's because of the name or what. He's cute and whatnot. But yeah, so we decided to keep him. But he was a feral cat. So he's still coming around. Like when I pick him up like that, he doesn't like it. But if he gets on me, yeah. So I understand, Joe, the lump in your throat when you tried to ask. And it comes a lot from when we were younger, it wasn't appropriate. You didn't talk about things like that. Milo is going home soon, back to my daughter. Oh, the grandpuppy. uh, um, yeah. So, and like you said, it gets easier the more you do it, just like anything else. We have fear of doing things, and then once we do them and we do them more often, it gets easier. And we were taught younger, our younger, like I said, 40, 50, 60, even 70, we were taught that it was not appropriate to ask for help. You, what do they say? Get over it. We just did it. We just did it without, and but you were never happy when you were just doing it and making it through, parents and family and things like that. They weren't happy. Growing up, it was just understood that it was weak to ask for help. Yes, Joe, it was weak. Yes. Hi, Christina. Hi. We're talking about asking for help today. We're starting a series about how to ask, why to ask, when to ask, where to go for help, and today is what is help. But it may take a couple days for us to get through what help looks like for everybody because it's so different for everybody. And especially in the mental health area, we were taught also to be, not only it's weak to ask for help, but it's just not something we do. It's shameful. If you ask for help, then people look at you a certain way, treat you a certain way, things like that. And early on, I started, when I first had trouble, I didn't talk to anybody about it. Then, like I said, once I had the breakdown, I really could not talk to someone. And and then something in me clicked and said, you know, this was so hard for me to do. Um, so you know what? And it was all about secrets and things like that, keeping stuff in and not sharing it, and then you just lose it um, all at one time. It just all comes together, like you were talking about, Nay, with your surgery and everything that you have going on in your life. It all comes together at one point, and your mind says, I cannot do this anymore. I cannot do this anymore. We're full, we're at capacity, we're stressed. Our physical health is not the best either, and our mental health is having trouble as well. So yeah, and I wish I didn't have to come to that point to ask for help, but like we were saying, the way we were raised, it was weak. Nobody did that. Um, you're exaggerating. Just get up and do it. Um, you know, go to work, put on a smile, and deal with it. You know, you don't need help. You just need to buck up. You need to, you know, be strong and all those things, right? So I can't tell you how that triggers me when I hear people say that now. It really, really, and it doesn't make me depressed. It makes me angry. It triggers anger in me because I know what I went through to get to where I am today and how to ask for help. And oh, you don't need a therapist. Nobody needs a therapist. You don't need that medication. Nobody needs that medication. It's just a scam. It's not real. It's whatever. And it's so hard for me to believe that still in this day and age we're dealing with this. But we are. And actually, until COVID, I don't think mental health was spoken about as widely as it is now. um yeah, after COVID, then it was okay to have mental health issues, or everybody started having them. And then, but then still some of those people are like, they're just making it up. They're lazy, they don't want to work, they don't want to do this, they don't want to do that, you know. So they're using it as an excuse. Yeah, all that stuff triggers me, and I get very, very angry. And I know why I'm getting angry. So I will say, I will try to calm down and say this person is ignorant. I cannot change this person's mind. It is not my job. All I can do is tell my truth, you know. And if they don't want to listen, then I'm not gonna, bother with that. But yeah, um, I hate it when people say we just did it. We just got through it. I said, but you still had mental health issues. You just weren't dealing with them. Well, we got up and went to work and we did this and this. And I said, but you weren't happy. You weren't good. It's all, and then the argument just, it's just crazy. So I had to stop engaging. And since I've been asking for help for a very long time, um, I was able to do that, stop engaging with that person. And, you can't help ignorant people, and even when you can see the signs that they have a lot of issues, um, that's why we're going to talk today. If you see someone and they have a lot of issues, how to know how to ask, if you should ask, if they'll be receptive. A lot of people aren't receptive to that kind of stuff. And they think, I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm getting out of bed. I'm going to work. I'm fine. You know, I'll get over it. And that's not the case. That's really not the case. So that's where this stems from, this ask for help series we're going to be doing. It'll probably take a couple months to get through it. Um, and so, what I think this article is about, and that's the part I'm not sure if I should read it, because if I do, I might disappear. So, I don't know. Yeah. So, I think we're just going to keep talking. And then, so what asking for help, what is what I put on the, whoops, that was not meant to see. I left. If I go to a different page, I'm going to be gone. So, okay. Don't touch all that stuff. Um, so, what did I say? It's what? Asking for help. Asking for help, and then I just put what, right? What, when, where, why. Yeah, what. What it looks like, and what it means to all of us or any of us. For some people, it means therapy. For some people, it could mean hospitalization. And that was me. I went to rehab, I was hospitalized. Um, that was the second breakdown. So the first breakdown was when I had to actually go and ask for help for the first time. So I have had a couple breakdowns in my life. I've had, I carry a lot of stress for no reason, you know. But once I was able to start asking for help the first time, when the second time started to come around, I knew who to ask for help, what to say, what to do. And that's how I knew I needed to go to the rehab. So, um, some self actualization that comes, I think, the more you ask for help, actually. So, let's see what else. I just can't put more emphasis on how important it is. Excuse me, because here we want to help everybody. That's why we're here. We want to help each other. You guys help me. Hopefully, I help you as well. And, there's this type of help. This would be like chatting and therapy, talk therapy, group therapy. But we don't get like in depth really of each person like you would with a therapist. So what I hope is something like our Wellness Wednesdays would be a gateway into someone getting help. Thus the series that we're all talking about here. Um, let's see. So for me, asking for help, I've always been very independent. So what happened was, I was on the couch for like 2 weeks. No, for like 2 months, not 2 weeks, the first breakdown. And I did start going, my general practitioner gave me anxiety meds and tried depression meds. And that was in the first month, though. None of it worked. None of it worked. I started seeing a therapist. That person was not the right therapist for me, so that didn't help either. So, in desperation, I started calling some really big hospitals, and they directed me to a mental health facility for myself, because the first thing you want to know is your insurance. So, for my insurance, in this bigger city, a little bit more, I'm in a smaller town, so a little bit more progressive with their ideals about mental health and things like that. So that's why I called the bigger area hospitals. So that was the best decision I ever made. I had a great therapist. I got through this time. Um and she really, really helped me to understand what was going on. Um, just a third party that has no skin in the game to talk to. And it's all private. You don't have to worry about it being broadcast anywhere. Like if you're talking to a family member, that could be another situation. But when you go in with a therapist, your privacy is guaranteed. So, found a great therapist, did well, and you don't have to go to therapy forever. And once I found this place with a therapist, then she recommended me to their in-house psychiatrist, who was a really young guy, like maybe in his 20s. So that would have been, so he's probably in his 30s now. I was probably in my 40s. No, I was in my 30s. So he was in his 20s. He was a young guy. And he was actually an excellent psychiatrist. He helped me with my medications, helped me figure out my dosages. He just was a very smart guy, very smart and also considerate. I mean, he wasn't like, oh, and mushy about it and all like a therapist might be. He was just like, this is what you have. This is what we're going to do about it. This is your diagnosis. These are the medicines I want you to try. If it doesn't work for you, then we'll come back and you will, we'll be able to tell what did or didn't work for you and how to help you, because they're really there to help you. But the thing is finding a good therapist or a good psychiatrist is difficult, to be honest, because they're there to help you, but not all of them can help you. You need someone specific to you. And that's another hard thing is people start therapy looking for help, and then they go and it's not successful, so they stop. They don't continue on. So that's a big thing we talk about a lot, is that if you have a bad therapist, keep keep looking, because most places that you go for therapy will have 4 or 5 therapists on staff, and usually there's one psychiatrist there that does the medications. So you go to the therapist first, find the therapist that you want. If you don't like your therapist, you can choose a different therapist. And I know that again goes back to that not asking for help, because we think, oh, we're just stuck with this person. We're not. We have to advocate for ourselves. And that's a hard thing as well, to say, I'm sorry, but, and you don't have to say I don't like you, but I don't think that our vibe is working. I need to try another therapist. And then if that therapist gets angry at you for switching, then you're probably right about switching, because they shouldn't get angry about it. You need to find a therapist that works for you, and not everyone will. So don't stop looking for the help that you need, I guess, is a big thing. If you don't like your psychiatrist, look for someone else. Um, and people get bad psychiatrists and bad therapists and they just stay with them. Or they stop going and say, well, I went to therapy and it didn't work for me. Well, it's because you didn't have a good therapist, or your therapist wasn't for you. You have to find the person you click with and that you will tell everything to. Your secrets, your whatever, you have to find that person, right? And we've talked about that before on our channel, that my therapist is not necessarily, even though she's good for me, she may not be good for you, or he may not be good for you. And if you're not progressing in any way and you just feel stuck, definitely take a look at your therapist. If you're comfortable with them and you like them, it could be what you're not telling them. So it's got to be someone you're comfortable with to tell all those things to, that you don't want to tell your family, that you don't want to tell your friends. You know, this person can help you with all those things. So let's see. I get kind of off topic sometimes. So anyway, what does asking for help look like? What, all the whats. And like I said, everyone's story is going to be different, and expect that. So if someone's therapist works for them, that doesn't mean it's going to work for you. But it doesn't mean you shouldn't try their therapist, you know? And if you're not comfortable, hopefully you have a good therapist and you can say, I'm not really feeling like we're clicking. I think I need someone else, or either maybe a different gender, or someone who has more experience with depression or anxiety, or those kind of things. And hopefully that therapist can lead you to someone in their group that could help you. And like I said, again, if they're not willing to help you, maybe even that group, that therapy group, you can leave. So, and find someone else. And one of the harder things too is with therapy and mental health is your insurance. Getting them to take your insurance, because a lot of therapy like that BetterHelp, you have to pay for that. They don't take insurance. So you have to pay for that. And for most of us who have mental health difficulties, I mean, I'm pretty sure rich people have them too, but they can just pay for that. We normal people, what our insurance doesn't cover it, we can't afford all that care. It can get expensive unless you just have the copays. And then even sometimes that can get expensive depending on the level of care they're trying to give you and what you actually want. So a big thing is be your own advocate. Um, you even at that point, you're desperate, you're depressed, or you're whatever you are. It's going to be hard, but you need to, and you could go to this person for 5 or 6 weeks, and then you decide, I don't think it's working for me. I don't feel comfortable telling this person my deepest, darkest secrets. And that's what you're there for, is to get that stuff out and deal with that stuff. And they can give you tools and different types of therapy recommendations. There are more than one type of therapy. There's like 5 or 6 different types. And if that person's a good therapist, they can help you find the person you need and also the types of treatment you need. And then once they diagnose you, the therapist, as either, you know, depression, anxiety, whatever they do, then if they feel like you're going to need medication, which in my case I did, then they'll talk to the psychiatrist and you'll get an appointment with the psychiatrist to discuss those issues as well. And if you need medication or if you don't. And I did need medication. And see, that's the thing too. When you need help, sometimes you're so depressed or anxious, you don't realize you need help and you're not sure how to address that. So, my advice is to first try to get into any therapist you can. Hopefully, your insurance will cover it. If not, like they have in my city, there's a peer to peer support. Like I would speak with someone who's been through the things that I have been through, and they're not a therapist, but they're a peer of mine that I can talk to, and that is also confidential. So that's the hard thing, right? It's so hard to get help and then to know when you need it. But then when people are telling you you need help and you're like, I don't need help, but people are saying, something's not right with this situation. This happens every time you do this. Something's not okay, and they're just like, no, I don't need help. I don't need help. That's another type of, that's another scenario of someone who needs help. And I don't know how you get through to those people other than they just screw up so bad that no one will speak to them. And, you know, and then they're finally going to go for some help. I don't know how you avoid that. Um, but I do know sometimes, whatever those incidences are with people that you care about, they may not be pretty, but they may start a conversation and you have to address it. You can't just be like, oh, so and so was drinking, or so and so was upset, or so and so was just having a bad day. You can't do that. You have to address it with them. And if they're not willing to address it, then you may have to take some serious steps to step away from that person. And hopefully that person is not you. Right. Hopefully we're not the person who doesn't want help. Hopefully we're getting the help that we need. Um, Feel free to put any questions in the comments and I will do my best to get back to you. If you're not here in the live right now. And we need to be gentle with people, and it can be frustrating. I do know that. And just everyone's path to get help is different. And we're just trying to figure things out, right? You're trying to figure it out. I'm trying to figure it out. Yeah, I really wish I could read that article. It was a really good one from what I saw of it. But I'm afraid that if I do go over there on my cell phone that there's no share button on here. So I can't pop it up. Yeah. I can bring guests up though. If anybody in the chat wants to come up and talk about how they got help or anything to do with help, how they got help, someone without using any names who needs help, they're having difficulty with, I'll put the link in the chat if one of you guys asks me to come up. So yeah, I'm sorry. This is really just not like my normal situation. And since I can't read the article, I'm just kind of flying by the seat of my pants. So um I think that we're probably going to stop about 2:30 unless we get a lot more people in. And so it's right now it's 2:08. So I'm not going to keep you much longer, especially since my setup is just not working for me. Um so I put ask for help what? I guess I need to do like a sub thing like what it looks like, um what it means to a lot of us. Um and I'm gonna have to go through and do some little subcategories because I really I just put the who, what, when, where, why. I didn't do any subcategories. So today is just the first episode or the first live talking about help, and so this is going to be at least a couple months of different ways to ask, um, when to ask, where to go to get help, and just all that all that stuff. And let's see what else. Um I just know that there are several people in my life who need help, who aren't getting the help they need. And um sometimes we like chat, talk things out and stuff, but they still really need that third party that is not involved in any way to be an observer to help you. And there are different therapies like I said, so they may have a different perspective on what's going on, or they may have the same perspective and they can give you tools to help you deal with what's going on. um yeah. um I know there's just a couple of us here. I really I'm sorry. I really am sorry. I believe the article I was going to read, it's called Ask for Help. It was an article, and I think it was the man and his son. They didn't know how to deal with him, and they didn't know how to get him help. And maybe if he didn't want help, they still um, would know what to do. As far as admitting people to the hospital and things like that. Um, those are difficult things to do, and also difficult things to even to happen. You can't just throw somebody in a hospital unless you're rich and you can pay for it. That's a TV thing. I don't know if that happens in real life, but on TV the rich people do. Hey Brandy, how are you doing today? Hope all's going well. We're talking about help and what it looks like for different people, how to ask for help, um, just all different things about it, how to get help, how it's hard to get help or ask for help sometimes, and when people don't want help, what do you do? When you know something's not right and they don't want help, what do you do? I hate asking for help, right? From when when we were younger, it was looked down upon, and I know Joe had to go, but it was looked at as a weakness. But in this day and age, it's actually a strength. We need to ask for help. I know it's the way that you probably were brought up because I was brought up that way too. And it took a lot for me to, I mean, I had to get the lowest of the low before I asked for help. Yeah. And it wasn't easy the first time, but I don't know why we look at it so horrible. I really don't. I just want to say that was just how people felt about it back then. And so they passed that on to us because I totally understand what you're saying. Now I have no problems asking for it. But if you had asked me that, um, let's see, I'm 50. If you had asked me that 30 years ago, I would have been like, no, I'm fine. There's nothing wrong with me. I'm fine. But I was always angry when I was younger and a little bit scary. And so nobody would have approached me and said, you need help. And it took a lot for me to ask for it the first time. And then once I did, I felt better about it every time I had to go to the therapist or whatever. And like we were talking about too, is insurance. A lot of places maybe don't take your insurance. Same, always angry and felt like I was lower class. And you're not. So those are things that you may want to talk to a therapist about because that anger, um, I don't I don't know how I think I just dealt with it in therapy, but I'm not like that anymore. I mean, I was just mean and angry and just never felt good. Didn't think I was worthy of, anything really. And that didn't change until I went to therapy. That didn't change until I asked for help and went to get help. So I know it's hard, Brandy, but if you can, and if you have, like I said, if you don't have insurance, your cities and states may have, like mine has a peer to peer free therapy where you just go and talk to someone who's been through what you've been through, but it's private. It's still private. So there was a time I could be happy one second, next I felt like wanting to lash out. Yeah, yeah. And that sounds to me like some anger. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I was so mean. I would just, and I don't swear anymore, but I used to swear really bad. So, hello. My husband's home from work and I'm in the living room, so he's gonna pass by here in a second. Coffee's made. Um, so yeah, I understand how hard it is and how it's difficult if you don't have insurance and things like that as well. Let's see. I said we're just gonna go to like 2:30 probably because I'm out of my element here in the living room. It's really distracting. So, oh, can you see Barry Sanders over there? He's right there. Can you see him? He's a black cat on a dark brown couch, so you probably can't see him real good. But yeah, he's sleeping. He'll probably sleep till dinner time now. Um, Hello, hubby. I hope your day was good at work. That's my friend Brandy online saying hello to you.
Hi. Tell her I said hi.
He said hi. He doesn't like to be on video, so he's not going to come over here. So, so is anything going on, Brandy, that's giving you trouble right now that you want to chat about, or LOL? A shy one. Yeah. Yeah. He's not as loud and obnoxious as I am. He puts up with me. So is anything going on in your life, Brandy, right now that you want to talk about? And it says there's only two people here. I think it might be Nay who's still here, or Christina or Wavy. I'm not sure. I wish they would tell you who's here, but they don't. They just show you a number two. There are two people here with me because I'm on my phone, so I can't be someone in the chat. So it's me and two other people. So, okay. So let's see. Well, let's talk about some of the stigma that goes with asking for help. And this, again, I don't think that the generations now feel like this, but I know that our generations and others getting hopes up too high may have a chance to get a better trailer. Well, and that's a positive thing. But you think you're swinging way too high thinking about it. Yeah. I understand that. You want to be excited, but then you don't want to get ahead of yourself because then if it falls through, you'll be upset. Yeah. Yeah. I have a friend who just recently applied for a business loan, and we were just talking about all the things. She was filling all the papers out, doing all the work. And we were just talking about all the things that we could do, finally see her dream. And it didn't go through. But I'm going to tell you that she had the best attitude. And we talk a lot about this, giving it up to God, because He knows what He wants for us. If you believe in God, even if it's the universe knows what's good for us, even though we don't necessarily know. So what comes our way, she's very positive. She said, I know it's going to happen. It just didn't happen this time. There probably was a reason that I don't know yet. And that she's still very looking towards the future. And I'm sure she gets a little sad about it, but still looking towards the future, still having that goal. But yeah, that was a pretty big letdown. Yeah, because we were really talking about all the things that were going to happen and we were going to do. But she's handling it really well, really well. So sometimes giving it up to a higher power, whoever your higher power is, whatever your higher power is, and just saying, it didn't happen for me today, but I believe it will happen. And just continuing to have those positive vibes. I know it's hard. I'm saying these things, but I know it's difficult to be positive when you're very disappointed. I know that. I've been there. So it's mostly actions. Words are not really us just saying that we're going to be positive. That's a lot harder than being positive. And then there's doubt that comes in and things like that. All right. So I can't remember what I was saying earlier. About getting help. Oh, the stigma for asking for help. About when we were younger, how, you had family members that just weren't right, but nobody said they need to go to therapy. They were just like, just stay away from so and so, or so and so's bad influence or bad person or crazy or whatever else. And that never solved the problem. But if you ask for help, if that person asked for help, then the whole family would probably be like, well, what's wrong with you? Why do you need help? Or, this is back when I was like, I'm 54 now. So like when I was like 10, teenager area, stuff like that. Or the person who drinks a lot, well, they probably have some underlying issues as well. other than being alcoholic. Um, let's see. Yeah, there just was a lot of stigma with it when I was younger. People didn't ask for help. And angry people just fought a lot uh, and didn't ask for help. But now it's a little less stigmatized and easier to get help. There's a lot more help available to us now. And let's see. Yeah, there's more help available to us now. Since COVID, things have slowly started to change. We've had the mental health issues forever, you know. Even when you were little and people were like, oh, just deal with it. Well, they still had issues. They just didn't deal with it. To say just deal with it was like don't deal with it, just move on. Basically is what that means. That doesn't mean deal with it at all. No. Um but yeah, I had a lot of alcoholic family members, and I'm sure that they had some issues they were dealing with as well. Um, and sometimes drinking is just a band aid, you know. Um, yeah, since I'm in the living room on my phone, I don't have all my little notepads. I can't share my stories with you. And I know I keep complaining about this, but I'm not going to do this again. This is just too hard. So I got to get my computer fixed. um, Oh, there's 4 people here now. So is everybody doing well then? I just turned 50. You did? I didn't think you were older or as old as me. I'm 54. So you come from the same time that I do. So we have a lot of the same ideals put into our head when we were kids. You know, um, if someone sees a therapist, something's wrong with them, and that's not true either. If someone goes to the psychiatrist, something's wrong with them. It's not something's wrong with them, it's that they're different and they need help. And so, in order for me to be here today and to talk and to not be angry and to not be shouting and to not be, depressed or anxious, I have to take my medication. I have a chemical imbalance in my brain. And I didn't understand that. I think I've had it since I was young because I think I had anxiety when I was a child. So that is a disease that is incurable right now. You can take medication for it, but you can't cure your brain chemical imbalance. You can't do that. Not yet, anyways. There's an arm. Did you see the arm? That was um So yeah, deal with it is really saying don't deal with it. I don't want you to deal with it. Just hide it. Don't tell me. I don't want to know about your issues. I'm not dealing with mine, so you don't need to deal with yours. And then we all just acted a fool, you know. I'm sure at our age, Brandy, there are some family members that weren't welcome sometimes, and they probably had mental health issues that need to be dealt with. I know a lot of, like I said, I have a lot of alcoholism in my family. And I know that a lot of those people were hiding anxiety and we call it self medicating, right? And it wasn't helping, it was hiding the problem more and making it worse. Because if you have something that is really, really let's take an example. So just say general some childhood trauma. I haven't dealt with it. I'm not going to deal with it. I'm just going to live my life and move on. Um, so if you're drinking or taking drugs, or if you're taking, I don't know, what other things do you use to self medicate but drugs and alcohol? Um, if you're doing those things, you're just stuffing the problem down. Eating is also another way people stuff their emotions. I know there are forms of physical harm. Like I pick my face sometimes, and that's part of my anxiety. Um, so there are lots of bad coping mechanisms, lots of them. We learned them all when we were younger, and we kept them all with us because that's how our parents coped. That's how family members coped. That's how sisters, brothers, aunts, uncles, everybody coped. Now we are finally starting to see that that is not coping, that we need positive coping skills, not the negative things we used to cope, but we need positive coping skills in place of those negative things. Yeah. So can you see the little white cat? I don't think you can see him. There's his little ears poking in. Okay. He's one of the foster kittens. So there he is. Can you see it? He's a she. I don't know why, because I have boy cats. So, um, so cute, so cute. Yeah, I just have the two left. So, some people are keep busy, work lots. Like, what is that called when you work? You're addicted to work. I can't remember what they call it. Um, but that's another coping skill. Just work a lot. Don't think about the problems. Just work a lot. And workaholic. That's it. And I was at one time a workaholic as well. I would work two jobs at a time, have a full time job, and just use a part time job to fill my time. And that was definitely not coping with my issues, with what was going on in my life. And then a lot of times we don't even realize we have an issue until it's too late. And we're in a shouting match with somebody about our issues. And yeah, that's difficult. That's the one where you need to have the conversation about what was said and what was done, and you have to have a serious conversation about getting help and things like that. So I think we're down to 0 people. Okay, and it is 2:30. I am so sorry that this was not a better live, and I promise to be more prepared. I'm going to get my computer ready for next Wednesday, and we will be back in the makeup room, and we will be more prepared and not as distracted as I am right now. Because I took my medicine, I'm just distracted with the room I'm in. So, thank you guys for being here, and you help me. And hopefully, I help you on these Wellness Wednesdays. And I hope to see you next time. And that's all I've got. So I will talk to you guys later. Have a great week. Bye, everybody. Bye.